You're from Czech Republic, yeah? Hope Housing is a homeless charity in Bradford to provide homes and night stays for the homeless. We help anybody in Bradford that is at risk of sleeping rough for that night. We have an emergency assessment centre in Bradford that can accommodate up to 20 people, and we also have volunteers across Bradford to have homeless people stay in their homes. We were set up to fill in gaps where people might be falling through the gaps of service provision. We were set up to try and bridge those gaps. So if people can access accommodation elsewhere, we try and help them to access that accommodation or those resources. But if they can't access any help anywhere, then we try our hardest to help those clients. It's really great to hear different people's stories of their lives, and we meet all sorts of people with all sorts of different stories who have ended up on hard times. We've had one guy who was a helicopter pilot, somebody else who was a professional shop fitter, as well as meeting people who have got addiction issues or that are suffering from relationship breakdown. We also meet people from all across the world who might be coming here because they're fleeing persecution in their own country and haven't been able to get the help that they need here. Our main aims are to help people overcome their issues in homelessness, and that requires more than just a roof over their head. So when people first meet with us, we'll do an initial assessment, and then we work through with them to work out what the barriers are for them accessing housing, what kind of accommodation is going to be good for them, what kind of support they need. And we've always been a charity to try and help with alternative solutions. Maybe that is a train ticket to a family member where they can stay, or maybe it's some work boots so they can get that job that they've got lined up. So we try to help with a whole range of things that really is what a client needs, a client-centred approach to help them escape homelessness and get back on their feet again. When I was a student, I studied sociology and social psychology. I was involved in lots of other societies and groups to campaign, and especially issues around poverty and social injustice. And I was very interested in those kind of societies as a student. And I also volunteered at a homeless project. Those things inspired me to have a deeper understanding of issues of homelessness and how people become homeless. I also did my final year dissertation on people who beg in Bradford and did some research there, which I found very interesting. I'm motivated by my love for God. I'm a Christian, and that influences my values, and the Bible's quite clear on that we need to help those who can't help themselves, and that has inspired me to start Hope Housing, and it underpins the work that we do. Helping homeless people is not always easy or straightforward. I like to remember when I'm faced with an impossible situation, all of the previous impossible situations I've had in the past, and how somehow, out of seemingly nowhere, we've been able to help them, even though at first it seemed like we would never be able to help them off the streets. So those stories inspire me to keep going, even when people are facing really, really difficult circumstances.